video is going to be a first impression / review on 2 items. One of them being this Maybelline Superstay 24-hour foundation in the shade 310 Sun Beige. And this was in the new section of my beauty supply store, so I wanted to try it out and let you guys know what I think. I also was in the mood to try a new foundation, so I was like, why not make a video on it? And then I'm also giving you guys my thoughts on this LA Girl Pro Coverage White Foundation, which is a foundation lightener. And the reason being is because I picked up this shade thinking I was going to be spray tanned when I made this video, because this is what I would be. This is the shade I would be if I was spray tanned, but turns out I haven't had any time to do the spray tan. So I am pale as hell. It is 15 degrees here in New Jersey. It is winter and I am pale because my skin hasn't seen the sun in months. So I really need a spray tan, but I'm not spray tan. So this is too dark for me. This would be like my summer shade. This would be like the beginning of the summer shade for me, because it's pretty tan. So I was like, you know what, since it's too dark, why don't I try out this foundation lightener? I originally bought this for my kit, but I wanted to try it on myself and see if it works. I have used it on somebody else, but I never used it on myself, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity to kind of review both. This is definitely a good product to have in your freelance kit. If it's not this specific one, definitely a foundation lightener is good to have, and foundation darkener, because you can custom create any shade that you need. So I'm just going to tell you what this claims to do before we get started. So what kind of sold me on it is the bullet points on the back. So it's full coverage, which I feel like there's not a lot of full coverage drugstore foundations. Not a lot of drugstore foundations claim to be full coverage, but this one does. It is up to 24 hours wear, seamless matte finish, breathable and comfortable, fade and transfer resistant, oil free, doesn't clog pores, and dermatologist tested. So those are like all bullet points I look for in my foundation. So I was really excited when I read this. And yeah, and also it has a pump, so I was like super excited about that, because I hate when foundations don't have pumps. It's so annoying. And so does this one, which is nice. And this is just a foundation lightener, so you add some of it to your foundation to lighten it. It is a straight up white foundation. I will show you. It literally is white. So you just add this to lighten foundation. I also feel like it kind of neutralizes it a little bit, because I do feel like this has a tiny bit of a pink undertone when it dries, not when you initially pump it out. And I feel like this kind of helps neutralize that a little bit and make it not so pink, because I hate that. I'm definitely more of a yellow undertone person. So yeah, if you are curious and want to see what my thoughts are, about this foundation and if it's worth it. Also with this product, you want to see my thoughts on this product, definitely keep on watching. Okay guys, so I'm going to start off by priming my skin, and I'm going to be using the No Problem Primer by Touch and Soul, and it's basically just a blurring primer. I do not prime my skin every day, but I do prime it most days, and I've been using this primer for the last like 2 months. So it doesn't look like much when you apply it, but I notice a difference once I apply my foundation. My skin just looks smoother. So here is the foundation, the Superstay foundation. This is in color Sun Beige 310. I'm going to swatch it for you so you can actually see. By the way, I am in love with the fact that this has a pump. More foundations from the drugstore need to have a pump. Like, it's just so much better. So here's the color for you, just so you can really see what it looks like. Obviously, I'm going to be lightening it with the foundation lightener, but that's what it looks like. It really does have nice coverage, I will say. Like, I'm just going to blend it in a little bit more. Like, that is pretty good coverage. You can really see. And it does kind of dry to a matte finish. This is a very nice golden shade, so if you do have some color, it would be nice. Like, see, that's what it's like now. If I was spray tanned, this would be perfect. Also, this would be good for my summer shade, probably in the beginning of the summer, and then I may need to go one shade up by the end of the summer, but right now it's winter, so I am pale as hell. But I do get very tan in the summer. So that is the color right there. I'm going to do one side of the face with a foundation brush. This is the Morphe M439. This is one of Jaclyn Hill's favorite brushes. It's just a huge foundation brush. It's just a little dirty. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to use a beauty sponge on on the other side of the face. This is just a random beauty sponge from Amazon, but it is very good. So I am going to take one pump of this foundation. Actually, no, I'm going to take 2 pumps. It's pretty thick. You can see, like, it's a pretty thick consistency. And then I'm going to take the foundation lightener. This is the LA Girl Foundation Lightner. And yeah, we're just gonna go for it. So I'm gonna add, let's see, I'm gonna start off by adding half a pump of this. So about that much. Then I'm just gonna take my spatula and mix it all together and see kind of what I come up with, if the color is good or if I need to add more white, whatever. I mean, honestly, I don't really notice a huge difference yet. So yeah, that honestly didn't make a huge difference. I mean, a little bit, but really not. So I'm gonna add another half a pump to it and see if that makes a difference. Hopefully it does. So yeah, just mixing, mixing, mixing. Okay, so that definitely lightened it. See, it definitely thinned the foundation a little bit, but it is a little bit lighter. So let's see if this is gonna work. I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's not really making a huge difference. I feel like if you're gonna use it, like, you need to use a decent amount of it. So I don't know how I'm feeling about it. Alright, so I started applying it to the face. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with this color. I lightened it a little bit. I added probably about a pump of this. And I'm gonna start off with the Beauty Blender. And we are gonna see how this looks. Oh yeah, that color is way better. It's definitely still a little bit dark, but not horrible, like you can see. But wow, that is definitely a full coverage foundation. I really do like the way it's applying with this beauty sponge. Always get the ears, by the way. Don't forget the ears. Yeah, wow. It definitely has great coverage. And I will say it applies with like a matte finish. Like it's not like going on shiny and then drying matte. Well, I'm sure it will dry more matte, but it's like going on pretty matte, like a natural matte. So yeah, and I am just going to do in between my brows with this because it is easier than a brush, just because my brows are already done. So I am going to say this is a really nice foundation. So far I have 0 complaints. I am going to take a little bit on my neck. Okay, so I blended in one side and let's see how it looks. Wow. So it looks really good. It definitely has really good coverage. Like you can really see the difference in my skin from one side to the other. Like even right here you can really see the difference, and like just right here my skin looks really good. This, as long as it wears nice, this like may be my new favorite. Like this looks really good. But now I'm going to try it with the brush. So I'm going to take my brush and just dip it directly onto the palette and see. yeah, let's just see what happens. See if we get more coverage. Sometimes you do tend to get more coverage with a brush, so it all depends. So far, I'm liking the way it applies with the Beauty Blender better. I just feel like, or maybe it's this brush, I don't know. I'm not loving the way it's applying with this brush. I feel like it is showing more texture, where the Beauty Blender definitely looks more like airbrushed, I feel like. But I mean, they both are fine. Like, if I had to apply it with a brush, it wouldn't look horrible or anything. My skin definitely looks good though. So, just first impressions of that foundation lightener, you definitely have to use more than, I definitely had to use more than I thought I would. I mean, I ended up using almost the whole pump. Maybe because this is a more of an illuminating formula. It's not like super full coverage, so it's a little bit more on the light side, so that's why maybe I had to use more. I don't know. But I still love the concept of it, and if you are a freelance makeup artist, having something like this in your kit would definitely be helpful. And I also feel like it kind of neutralized the color a little bit. This definitely had a little bit of like a pink tone to it, and it kind of neutralized it. So, because I'm definitely not pink, but okay. So I finished this side of the face. They both look good. They both look really, really good, I have to say. I really am liking this foundation. I definitely can see how it is full coverage. I mean, you can still see some scarring here. So let's see if we can layer it a little bit and see what happens. But I definitely think the coverage is amazing. It's, I don't know, like, it is a full coverage, but it's not like, holy shit, I feel like I have a pound of product on my skin. You know, some full coverage foundations, you're like you feel it, you know. This I really am not feeling, so I am all about that. So I'm just layering a little bit, seeing if it will cover up any spots that kind of need a little bit more coverage. I mean, it covered a little bit more, and it does seem to layer fine, so that's good. But I am definitely going to take some of this on my neck. And I definitely, I mean, I guess I have a little bit of a natural shine to my skin, but it's not dewy at all. It's just natural. So I'm just looking up close. I just want to see really in the mirror like how it looks. And honestly, I really, really like it. My skin looks really good with it. Okay, so I'm loving that. I think it's amazing. I am going to go in with my concealer. I'm going to apply the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in Light 20. And I'm going to just apply this underneath my eyes. I'm not going to go too crazy with it because, just because. But I'm going to highlight a little bit. I think for drugstore, this is really good. But another test is to see how products layer on top of foundation. So let's see how this concealer is on top of this foundation. So the concealer seems to be layering really nicely. I feel like my skin literally looks airbrushed. And I'm so happy I found a new drugstore foundation. I definitely want to pick up a lighter shade so I don't have to use this foundation lightener. I mean, I am going to be getting spray tanned tomorrow probably. But, or maybe tonight. Maybe I'll do it tonight. But, for when I'm not spray tan, I would like to wear this foundation and not have to use this lightener. So I am going to pick up maybe I don't know. They didn't have a ton of shades at my Harmons. Actually, I'm going to try this contour stick. It's by Wet n Wild. It is the Makeup Stick Contour. The Wet n Wild Mega Glow. And let's just see how this works. It's pretty thick, actually. Like, it felt thick on the skin. But let's see how it blends. I've heard good things about this contour stick, so... Okay. That's pretty. So it blended really nicely. You can see, like, it doesn't look overwhelming. It just is like a nice little contour. Let's try it on my forehead. Okay. By the way, this is in the shade Call Me Maple. Okay. Okay. Alright, so that's what that looks like. It's really pretty, very natural. Definitely would use that again. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead, finish up my face, you know, bronze, powder, highlight, all of that. And then I will be back to tell you my final. Okay, so I'm back. I did the rest of my face, my lips, and all of that. My final thoughts on this product, the Maybelline Superstay Foundation. Is it Superstay? Yeah. Superstay Full Coverage Foundation, is that I love it. I mean, honestly, I keep looking at my skin and my skin looks, I don't know, like my skin really looks so smooth and it's completely covered, like all my imperfections. I wouldn't say this is like super duper full coverage. Like you can see some things if you look very closely, but for the most part, it's definitely great coverage. And my skin just looks so smooth. It's matte. It doesn't feel heavy at all. That's very important to me. I never want to feel like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. And I really don't feel like that with this foundation at all. Like it feels breathable. It feels comfortable. And I just really love it. It's honestly, you guys, I love this more than I do my Maybelline Matte and Poreless Foundation. I've been using that since it came out. And I've always loved it and I've always went back to it, but after using this, I feel like this is way better. It's just, I don't know, the coverage is better. Sometimes I felt like with the Maybelline one, like the coverage, like the look of it looked good, but like the coverage just wasn't quite where I wanted it to be, where this is. So I absolutely love this. I have nothing bad to say about it. Actually, that's not true. This shade I do feel like is a little bit pink. Like it doesn't look like it when you initially pump it onto the back of your hand or whatever, but I feel like once it dries, it definitely has like a pink undertone, which doesn't really match me that well. It may look good on somebody else, but on me, not so much. So the shade, I feel like the shades could be improved. I'm not sure if my beauty supply store had all the shades, but I felt like the range wasn't like the most amazing range I've ever seen, but that's kind of typical for drugstore foundation. So yeah, other than that, other than the shade, I don't have anything bad to say about it. My skin right now looks really, really good. It looks healthy. It's matte. Like I don't feel oily. I don't feel super dewy, which that's just not my look. I don't really like dewy foundations, and it just looks like you can see, like it just looks really good. And as for this, I did end up using more than I thought I would need to, but I think that's just because of the formula of this, because this is more of an illuminating formula. I definitely want to try this foundation in my shade. That way I don't have to add this, and I want to see if there's a difference. I really don't think this changed the formula of this at all, but I do want to try it in my shade so I don't have to add this and see if there's a difference. If there is, I will update you in my next video, but I don't think there will be. But anyways, I do like this. I think that it's great if, you know, you're someone that kind of changes shades all the time, if you like to get spray tans and whatnot. I think having something like this is really good. Wow. I just got really bright. Anyways, I think having something like this is really good. And And if you're a freelance makeup artist, I think this is also amazing because you can make any shade you need. So nothing bad to say about either product. I hope you guys enjoy. In my opinion, they're definitely worth it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.